connection that's kind of universal. Oh, hey, hello.
Oh, hi
Thanks for
there.
the cold opening. Mid-conversation, not expected to be recorded.
Yeah, what connection was Tyler talking about? Internet connection or the connection
Your
to
connection.
his feelings? Or with other people?
The rainbow
Speaking of which,
connection.
as of today, the day we're recording, it's Psychologist Day here in Brazil. Yay!
Mazel tov.
Go.
Omedeto.
Are we just saying congratulations in different ways now?
Yeah,
I guess so.
I can do French, but that's about it. In English,
Kyle.
I guess. And Japanese.
Let's see. Congratulaciones and parabéns. There we go.
I covered your Korean, so how many nationalities did you manage to get out at the end of that?
Half a dozen, maybe?
We are an international podcast.
Yeah, we are. So... Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Shifty podcast. I'm Luís, aka SpartanSloth, and today we have...
Tyler.
And BlackHatJim.
Yeah. See, that's probably one of the smoothest intros we've ever had. No one spoke over each other. Got it all out of the way.
And
it wasn't Luís stop. Sorry.
Hey, fuck you.
You're becoming a verb.
Yeah.
and like that, the magic is over.
That is awful.
Yeah.
Every time BlackHatJim is in the podcast, I've lived through the dilemma of whether I should call him Jim or Black Hat, because we already have Jim as in Jim Survek. So, Black Hat it is, I guess.
At least you're not going to confuse him with someone else while he's here. I mean, it's not like they're on the same podcast.
Man, I wish Tyler were here, but, TJ is just fine too. I mean...
The moment we get a Black Hat Tim, we're screwed.
We're fucked.
I would make it my personal goal in life to have Jim Survek, Black Hat Tim, and you on the same podcast.
I'd be like, no, worst day of my life.
And you can call him Black Hat. I'll just be Hat.
Well, that would also be troublesome. If we were to split the name in 3 parts.
Yeah.
Hat, Jim, and you.
Oh, that would be
so Tumblr doesn't go crazy. For those of you who didn't get the joke, it's because we usually confuse Tyler and TJ for whatever reason.
I've never understood that. We don't even have remotely similar names, and yeah.
You see, that confuses the shit out of me too, but it happens to me a lot. Like, I'm gonna talk to TJ and I end up saying Tyler, or I'm gonna talk to you and I end up saying TJ. I don't know why. Maybe it's because it starts with T, but
right,
I can't really
explain. That's the most confusing aspect of this whole thing.
Yeah.
Well,
let's just break down syllables, yeah? TJ's name starts with T. Tyler's name starts with Ty. How the fuck are you still confusing this?
So one of today's topics is GTA 5 stunt races.
Cunning Stunts. I love it and I hate it.
I haven't had a chance to check it out yet, so you'll have to enlighten me as to what it is we're talking about. I'm sorry, I should have read up on the topics.
That's
it's
right.
Fine.
You see, the thing about Cunning Stunts that I think it's the best thing about it is the name. I've heard somewhere the term for it is Spoonerism, because it gets you thinking that it's actually stunning something else, instead of cunning stunts. And it's fucking brilliant.
If only Quirky was here.
Okay, all right, I know what we're talking about.
If only Quirky was here to get his hands dirty.
But to fill anyone in that may not be aware of, with GTA 5, they've changed up the races. Well, they've added a new set of races, which is just like actual racetracks, but they've made tracks like that just exist in the air and stuff. So it's not a street race anymore, which I absolutely hated on every iteration of their games, because no matter how good you are at racing, in the street races that you would have on those games, nothing could prepare you for that hill that will spin you out, that wall, that fence that's indestructible, that tree that won't go down, that lamppost, you know?
Or that ass. Wait, what? No.
Or the traffic, or a wanted level, you know, like... I've never liked the street races, because it was always like a lottery to me. But yeah, this new one, it's got some issues, but I'm actually liking it a lot more.
Yeah, if you want to try to picture it, you know those Hot Wheels sets, you know, with the racetracks and stuff? They're all crazy and colorful and have a bunch of loops and shit.
And ultra realistic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's that, but in GTA. And it is pretty cool. I kind of like those. Although it seems like they didn't release a lot of them. But, you know, still good.
I would say that they've got quite a few. Like, they've got...
it's like a dozen,
I was playing it earlier today, and I must have been playing for like 2.5 hours or something, and I don't think I came across the same track twice. So...
maybe they added more then.
They might have added more because I think you and I played it with TJ ages ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was either TJ or Stuart, or we played with them both. I think it was with both.
I think they have added more since then. But
you see, one thing that I didn't like about this update is that when you go into free roam, they changed all the... like, they removed all the missions and shit, and just focused on showing where the stun races were. And that sucks, because there is a way you can turn back all the other thingies on the map, but it didn't pay attention at the time, and now it's gone, and I don't know how to reverse it. It fucking sucks, man.
The amount of times I've accidentally skipped that little dialogue box in the corner that tells me how to do something. I hate that in GTA.
I don't want to read. Just tell me how to do something. Oh, yeah. Well, damn it.
Well, it would be like, I'm in the middle of doing something, and then something really helpful pops up in the corner, and it gets overlapped by something else, and I'm like, Christ, I actually wanted to know what that was. You know, like, I just hear, like, I just read, like, the first 3 words, and I'm like, oh, that's how you... Oh, it's gone.
Jet fuel can melt steel beams, Tyler.
Or, like, when you're running... Evil. When you're running or sprinting in the game by tapping A, and then somebody rings you, and you have to sit through like the fucking whole spiel on the phone.
Hi,
and it's like,
I'm Master. Do you want to
steal
some shit?
Let's go bowling. So, no. I know that's not the same game, but that one's the one that sticks in my head.
It's notorious. It's a meme, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. But should I discuss the bits that I hate about the new update?
Oh, by all means, do share.
Are you going to the second topic or not?
It's both, because our second topic is multiplayer assholes. As you've lovingly put, like, there's no subtlety there at all. You know, you just put multiplayer assholes.
I actually think the exact word was douchebags, but same difference.
Well, yeah, I mean, on Twitter it was douchebags, but here we can use some more colorful language.
Yes, it's true.
The one thing that I hate, and this is the massive gap from being a new player to GTA 5 and someone that's been playing for years, is you can race with custom vehicles. Like, there's like an option, if you're the host, to toggle that on and off. Let me just say, if it's not on, like, you have to use the preset vehicles, I will get somewhere between, you know, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th consistently. You know, occasionally I'll get a win, but not often. But as soon as that's switched on, and it's like custom cars available, last almost every time, or like bottom of the pack, because where's the fun in racing against people who own the preset cars that have souped them up with millions and millions of bands in that game? It's like they actually have the grotty and they fully tuned it. And it's like, okay, so the grotty that they've given me that's not been tuned up at all is always going to lose. Like, great, fantastic. GG, no read, because fuck that.
Unless you go to those people's houses, and then you knock the controller off their hands. Then you win.
It just gets to me because it's like, you can occasionally get a decent result, but more often than not, there's going to be someone with a super upgraded vehicle compared to yours. And it's like, well, what can I do? Like, I started playing this game on my new account like 3 days ago.
That's really shitty, yeah.
Yeah, it sucks, but I suppose that's kind of what you have to deal with and hope. You know, I'm hoping there's a way to like go into the future, like enter jobs that only have custom toggled off. Because at the moment, you kind of have to hope for the best. And hope that the host isn't getting an advantage. Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but when we played, I automatically just hit like just the stock vehicles, not the personal ones, because it really sucks. Like, I can understand people soup up their cars, and good for them, and they are probably doing that because they probably play. Whoops, that was my phone. They probably play the races the most, but still, for those of us who can spend a fuck ton of GTA money on them, it sucks.
But this next point gets me onto the multiplayer assholes bits of it. I have never seen or come across any kind of racing game where instead of choosing to go past somebody, like, let's say someone's coming up behind me, they're caught up in a slipstream, they're going to pass me. They're going faster than me, whatever. I have never seen a racing game where if I give them the entire track to go past me, like literally move out of their way, so it's like, yeah, go, they will spin you out regardless of any safety of their own vehicle. It's bizarre. It's like, I understand it's GTA and people will be assholes and try to knock you off the track, but I've never seen it to quite the extent where it will actually be problematic to hit me, and they will do it anyway to get past. And I'm like, you're slowing your own car down doing that. Do you guys not realize? Like, you could have gone straight by me and problem solved, like, you're first, I'm second, who cares? Nope, they will try to knock you off the track, so you end up like 7th. It's like,
Maybe you just have one of those punchable cars, instead of faces.
Well, I get extra salty about this when you're up against custom vehicles are faster than your car, and you're a bit lucky, you're at the front of the pack, and they will spin you out. And it's like, what do I need? I did like a social experiment on it earlier where I purposely didn't hit respawn when I got spun out pretty bad, and I got hit by 3 vehicles, even though like it would have been difficult to hit me. Like, I was pushed up right against the wall. All these people that hit me decided to do that and spin themselves out and just made a massive pile up for the rest of the track. I couldn't help but sit there and go, if you guys had just gone past me, you would have been in like so much of an advantage. I don't know. Maybe I'm just ranting, but it's a thing I've noticed with that game. You get hit off the track a lot.
I think you said it earlier, and it makes sense. Because it's GTA, sort of like normal rules don't apply. It's like, oh, I don't care. I just want to blow everything up because I can do that in this game, and I don't give a shit. And it's like, like it's fun sometimes, but then other times, like, yeah, I totally understand, because I played GTA races where I'm like, yeah, let's play this like a race. Oh, I'm off the track. Oh, I just got blown up. Okay, never mind. Where are the sticky bombs? That sort of thing. Especially when weapons are on. Like, oh boy, like that's totally different.
There are some tracks where I will openly say it's kind of expected. Like, I think the name of the track is Plummet, and it's got this long straight line for a very long time. And of course, every single car can like slipstream any car that's in front of them.
Right.
So you're kind of asking for a pileup. Like, no matter what, everyone's going to be trying to get past like 12 cars at the same time. So there's going to be some carnage there that you can't get away from. However, when it really gets to me is when I've been first and knocked down to fourth, despite the person coming up behind me, because there was a bonus. Because recently they had a special offer on where you get like double money, double experience. I was like, you know what? This person can pass me. I actually don't care. Like, they're going to beat me. You know, like I could see them. I faffed up the last corner. You know, like I kind of spun out my car a little bit on my own. And I was like, you know, let them pass. They're going to go and win. I'll come second. No, instead, they pushed me. And as a result, they took themselves off the track completely. And we ended up like somewhere in the middle. And I was like, what was the point in that? You could have just gone round the corner and won. I could have come second and we would have had like 30 grand each. Like, what the hell? I didn't see what was working in their head there. You know, like, I understand being a dick on GTA is something people do, but like, that was pretty dumb considering what they lost.
Yeah, I also wouldn't be surprised if, you know, given the average age of people, you know, who play online and stuff like that, I wouldn't be surprised if it's someone who's, you know, just, you know, if they were maybe just a little bit older or just a little bit, you know, more aware of what they were doing, you know, it'd be like, you know, a logical decision to sort of, split your losses and, you know, make the best of a bad situation. But, you know, it's like, no, you gotta win, gotta smash, gotta do all kinds of other things. That is my impression.
Gotta go fast.
Gotta go fast.
God, they need a Sonic DLC. He would probably get knocked off the track a lot though, so it wouldn't be the fastest on the track.
That reminds me of a Starbomb song about Sonic and Tails. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
I don't know if I've heard that one. I've listened to a fair amount of Starbomb, but that might be one I've missed. I'm not sure. Or maybe I've listened to it, I just don't remember it.
It's actually perfect for the whole GTA racing, because it's like one of the parts is fuck your ring, Sonic, it's time to get real. I'm gonna kill a motherfucker just to see how it feels. So, it's pretty much GTA, like, fuck racing, I'm gonna kill that guy.
Yeah, well, that's the game in a nutshell, really.
For the last 10 minutes, I probably sounded like that old grandpa being like, these kids these days with their video games.
Well,
they're hippity hoppities.
If we move away from GTA for a second, I've been playing Overwatch is pretty much the only game I play these days for one reason or another. And sort of in line of multiplayer douchebags, I actually have a good story. So do you guys play Overwatch at all? Or?
I do.
I wish I did. So I like the game, but I don't have it.
Okay. You should get it sometime. It's really, really good. So, but essentially I was playing a map with a whole bunch of my other friends, and we had this one rando on our team, and he was obsessed with playing Genji. Like so many of these Genji players are. It's, you know, this character who's like, oh, you know, it's the best always, yada, yada, I'm amazing. So we weren't doing that well. It wasn't great, you know, but he wasn't changing character. Like, our strategy wasn't working. So I messaged him. I made the mistake of messaging him and saying, like, hey, do you mind switching? Because it's clearly not working. He so kindly told me to kill myself.
Wow.
And then, so it's like afterwards, we lost. And afterwards, you know what? We're going to call him out because this is bullshit, you know? Like, he, you know, and then he starts complaining, saying, oh, these people don't know how to play. And we're like, oh, whatever, go fuck yourself. We move on to the next match. The teams change up a bit to the point where he's playing against us and we have another rando. And this guy is just, will not stop shouting and swearing and calling us, you know, like we're shit and stuff like that. The very next match, we totally kick his ass and he rage quits. So it's like, go fuck yourself, dude, you piece of shit. So, you know, that's my recent experience with assholes. So I totally know what it's like.
Did your team explicitly like pick, did your team explicitly like just counter the Genji? Like, did you go in knowing that he'll be a Genji?
Well, no, that's the thing. So he wasn't even Genji this time, the second match, but he was just the entire time he was like calling us out or attempting to call us out, and the rest of the the rest of the other team and our rando was like, "What the fuck is going on?" Like they were really confused. And then when he rage quit, it was like we said to the other team like, "I'm so sorry you had to put up with that," and they were like, "No, that was actually really funny to watch. I don't care that we lost. Like that guy was an asshole and deserved to lose." So that's the funny thing about Overwatch is sometimes you get your stereotypical multiplayer douchebags, but you also get like really good people. Like it's great.
Like I'm often support.
Right. So am I actually. So I can relate.
But it's like I absolutely love playing it because recently, like there was a change. You know, when Anna came out, everyone wanted to be Anna.
Oh,
so that's the only trouble I've had with support. But usually, what I like about that particular side is no one really challenges you for that spot.
It's true.
And I remember playing in this game where there was a Mercy, and I was like, "Cool, let them be Mercy. I'll be Reaper for a change. I'll go out on the attack."
Right.
This Mercy is using their pistol.
Oh no!
Like rule number 1, if you're playing Mercy, unless it's like an emergency,
unless you're alone and have a shot, don't do that.
Like don't go running into the battlefield as Mercy with a pistol. It doesn't work. So what I did was I swapped from Reaper, and I should have gone to Lucio instead, but instead what I did was kind of an insult to this character. I changed to my Mercy.
Ah, okay.
And I've never had this happen before, and I hope I'll never have it happen again.
Okay.
This Mercy called me a noob because I didn't come over and res them.
Oh my god.
Sounds like we're pretty merciless.
I was like,
hey.
You can't be serious. Like
I know. What an ass. Like
you're standing 100 miles away from the rest of the group, nowhere near the objective, and you want me to go and res you?
Oh, Jesus. It's kind of funny because when we were talking about Ana earlier, it's like I end up I don't play her because I don't like snipers. I don't have very good aim, so I tend to avoid that. But when I play against them, they're always really good for some reason, and this is just the history that I played. But then the ones I get paired with on my team, because they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to be Ana," they're terrible. Like they don't know what they're doing, and it's like, why me? Why am I the one who always gets paired with, the not so great shot? And actually, as a result, 9 times out of 10, it's the support. I'm like, okay, well, I'll play tank because I've started playing a lot more of that and getting semi-decent at it. But 9 times out of 10, it's like, fuck, I don't like what the support is doing. I have to switch to support now because you are clearly not doing enough healing to actually get us anywhere. So it's people suck sometimes.
Yeah, it is really one of those games where I would hate to say that you need to go in with a team to fully enjoy, because you can enjoy it on your own.
Yeah, you can.
But sometimes you get those few games where you actually question what the hell is going on with some of the members.
Well, even with, because I play a lot with my friends online, and sometimes there'll be 3 of us online, sometimes there'll be a whole team. But especially with the half ones, it's like the 3 of us playing with these random people. And sometimes the comp works really well. So it's like, great, we don't have to think about anything. But then other times where it's like, what is this Bastion doing? Why is he attacking? What? No, he should be in turret. Why is he not in turret? It's like just this constant like, no, can't deal with other people. Solo, I often feel better if I have people online. I'd rather have like a whole team going. But then also like I like when I do solo, when okay, well, if we didn't do well, we can all blame each other, but at the end of the day, we just weren't that coordinated. With if you're half a team, it's like, oh, okay, well, we can talk to each other so we can coordinate our side of things, but if we're on attack and tank and the rest is support and defense, and they're not doing their job, there's like not much we can do. And it's like trying to call them out on it. It's like, you don't want to do that because you don't want to come across as an asshole being like, hey, I know you're experimenting with Hanzo, but really you should switch.
Yeah, we've already got 2 other Hanzos, and let's not do it.
Don't even get me started on it's a story for another time. Don't even get me started on the multi-hero thing. There was a couple weeks ago when I guess it was right after the competitive play ended, the first season. And so obviously all these people come on and they're just fucking about. So they all do these really troll bills. So like 6 Winstons, 6 Torbjorns, etc. And I hated it. It was like one of the worst days I've ever had playing Overwatch because it's just like, make it stop. Why can't I play against actual people who, play this game seriously? And it's just like, so.
I was when that started happening, like I just started playing Lucio Ball a lot, and now they've taken that away. I was like, oh man, this game is perfect because he's my main.
Right.
And I was like, okay, cool. And it seemed like 90% of people that I was against didn't know how to lob the ball. Like if you shot at the ball upwards, it would go in the air and over all the players.
Right, yeah.
A lot of the oppositions I went against didn't figure that out for a very long time.
Oh, yeah. I only played it a couple times, I think partially because, I would do it when I was solo, and even then I was like, I see the appeal, but I'll play Rocket League instead kind of thing,
Yeah, it was just Rocket League, but
yeah, it was.
The funny thing is with this is, I think I mentioned it earlier, I started a new Xbox account.
Right.
And so far on Overwatch, I had to start from scratch again. So I was level 1. I'm pretty much now noob. I'm now like level 24, and I don't think I've done any quick play games, any competitive games.
Oh, wow.
It was just Lucio Ball, and that's it. I love that game.
I hope you got a lot of good skins out of the fact that you were so low level.
Well, not really, actually. I think I only got a few that I liked. And they weren't actually summer game ones. Like, I got the Punk Tracer.
Oh, I like that one. I don't know.
Yeah, I was like, I like that one, but I really want something for Lucio and the Red Mercy.
Oh, yeah, the Switzerland skin or whatever it is, yeah.
No, I didn't get that one. I got her amber one, the golden one. I was like, that will do, but I really wanted that red one.
Right, yeah. I caved towards the end of the event because I really wanted the Symmetra has an emote where she does like ribbon and gymnastics.
Oh, yeah.
And it looked really cool, and I was like, I'm not going to get this in time. I'm so far from my next level. It's like, fuck, I'll pay, $5 for a few suburb boxes to just, see if I can get it, last ditch effort kind of thing. First 4 boxes, got a lot of duplicates. I even got 2 icons that were Summer Games related, and the same icon, and it was a duplicate. And I'm like, what the hell, Blizzard? Like, this is like a total flaw in your algorithm, but and then the very last one, I was like, well, fuck, I hope I get it this time. I did get it. I was like, yes, thank you, RNG. So
lucky.
So what do you do with the duplicates?
So there's an in-game currency that you can get through loot boxes. If you get a duplicate item, they'll refund you the value of the duplicate for a portion of in-game currency. So you can use this currency to buy skins and stuff outside of getting loot boxes. The only problem is these summer game skins that we're talking about, which were done for this Olympic event, they weren't purchasable. Like, you had to earn them through getting loot boxes. And if you're like me and have a very high level, you have to spend a lot of time getting experience playing a lot of games just for one loot box. And like all the other loot boxes you get, it's like a shit ton. Like you're gonna get shit items like 9 times out of 10, and it's really annoying. So I don't know. I feel like that should be after they get this new character out they've been talking about forever. I think reevaluating their loot box thing would be ideal, but I don't know how they're gonna do that.
I'm hoping that when that new character comes out, we don't get 6 players on your team being that character.
Yeah, inevitably, that will happen.
Yeah, they want to try the new thing.
Yeah, I'm curious actually. They're talking about this character being really stealthy, and like they're talking about maybe like the equivalent of a TF2 spy.
Yes.
Seems like really exciting. And personally, I never played the TF2 spy. I never got a feel for it, but Overwatch, if anything, has exposed me to character types that I thought I wouldn't like playing, that I really do like playing. Like I thought I would. Well, actually, that's not quite true. I loved playing heavy, so it makes sense that I like tank. But I thought I would never play support because I wasn't really into that. But I play mostly support now. So I totally I'd be interested to see where we go from here. We just need her to come out now because we've been waiting for her for like 2 months now.
Oh, definitely.
I think it would be absolutely brilliant if the new character was revealed to be John Cena. It's stealthy and it's
John Cena.
Exactly, and it's like, and so here's a new character, and his name is John Cena, and then the meme plays out.
They need to like subtly put the music, the da, 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 like when you hover over the character, like it starts playing in the distance, and it's like, why is it doing that? You click on it, John Cena.
That'd be really funny. Yeah, I mean, I'm just happy that they've been continuous with the content updates, but I don't feel burnt out or overwhelmed or anything like that, which is good.
Or overwatched.
Overwatch.
They balanced quite a few things recently, and some people love it, some people hate it, depending on what character you main.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Like, I never played D.Va before she got reworked, and now I probably play more D.Va than I did because Zarya's my main tank, but I feel like D.Va's quickly becoming that just because she's a little more versatile in a way. So I don't know. I still love this game. It's pretty much all I play these days. So
when I started off as a noob, I was like, I used to play as D.Va because I was like, I'll be this character and try to figure out how this one works.
Yeah.
That was before she got buffed.
Right.
And I very quickly grew out of that character and went into like supports.
Right.
Actually, on the advice of TJ, I believe, he was like, you should do a support character. Because he remembers how I played Happy Wars, I believe. Because I was like a really annoying cleric that used to heal people. I used to heal people, hit somebody, and then run away. And he was like, you would make a good Lucio. I was like...
Yeah, Lucio's so much fun as a support character. Yeah. It's a shame he's getting nerfed slightly. That's the one downside. But
come on. Is it just because he's Brazilian?
Reduction.
Yeah, it's totally because he's Brazilian.
Fuck.
Racists? No. He well, in a way, Lucio was a little OP in a way.
He was so OP.
Yeah, so I can see why they're nerfing him to a certain degree. It's really not that bad, but you definitely notice, especially with the speed boost. It's like, oh boy.
Let's break it down. Oh man.
No. Love Lucio though.
I want to jump back to the loot boxes for a split second.
Sure, yeah.
I nearly broke and bought some because I wanted to get the Union Jack flag as a profile icon because I got Brazil's one, I got Mexico's one, I got Greece's one, I got the USA flag.
God.
And I was like, how close is it going to get? What do I need to do to get my own national flag? It's like these ones should be something that just get released to everybody.
Yeah, it's true. Actually, the player icons in particular are really dumb because it's like you should just buy, like not buy them per se, but like if you have all this currency, just get an icon. Like literally makes no difference as to when you get it. I'm just bummed because there's no Canadian character, there's no Canadian flag icon, so I have to wait for whenever they decide, like, we need a hero from Canada. So, fingers crossed that happens someday. I have no idea.
I don't know what the character's going to be like if there was, because
I've talked to some fellow Canadian friends of mine. We're like, let's make them as stereotypical as possible. So they'd be like a lumberjack, named Jacques, because it would be like French. And then I would hope that his ultimate would be like summoning like animal friends or something, like a bear and a moose come out of nowhere and just start mauling at people. I don't know. That's if I had my way, that's what it would be. But
it sounds like Bear Hugger from Punch Out.
Yeah, okay. That. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that would be cool in an Overwatch game. I don't know if it'd get many kills though.
No.
But yeah, like I think it was the day before Summer Games stopped. Like in the morning, I opened up a loot box and it was like, oh, you got a legendary skin for such and such. Oh, there's the Union Jack. That's the one I wanted.
Yay!
Because it's all well and good getting legendary skins, but when it's like not on a character you ever use, what's the point?
Right. No,
it's a shame you can't sell those.
Well, it's I mean, it's like because I've gotten. I'm trying to, I've decided I'm trying to see if I can get Junkrat, or at least get better with Junkrat, because I have a friend who plays him and he's really good and seems like he can do a lot. But so I have 2 legendary skins for Junkrat, and it's like I never use these, and it's kind of like, okay, well, I guess I finally get to show them off now.
Exactly,
because you just don't use them.
It is a shame, unless you're like messing about one day and like the play against the AI stuff. That's the only time where I get to show off like the characters that I don't actually play.
Like, you know what? I'll try playing. It's like I decided, like, I'm gonna play Hanzo because I don't play any snipers whatsoever. Oh, this was a terrible idea. Why did I do this?
It's more like I'm gonna play as Mei because I never play as this character. Oh, wait a minute. Why don't I play as this character?
Yeah, she's a ton of fun. I've started playing her a little bit more too. So, she's fun.
Luís this whole time has been like, I don't even know what
these two are talking about.
I'm understanding very little what you guys are saying, but I'm interested. I just don't really have anything to contribute.
It's fair. We could move on for sure.
I just want Luís to get Overwatch.
Yes.
Because then we can have like a team of Shifty key podcasters that actually play. And we don't.
That would be great, but money, man.
To be honest, though, I think most of us have it on different systems as well. Like
I have a PC, so that's like my main.
I would love to get it on PC because the Xbox is actually in my blur words. My Xbox is actually in my brother's room instead of his Xbox, I should say.
Okay.
And it's like I can't play Overwatch on my PC because my PC is a laptop and it would destroy itself trying to run at a decent speed.
Yeah. Step 1, save money. Step 2, buy new computer. Step 3, save money again.
I did that and I bought a Mac before Overwatch came out. Well, actually, I say that. I think I actually bought the Mac when Overwatch was out, but it wasn't on the Xbox yet.
Right, yeah.
I should have known better.
Oh, wow.
Step 1, be smart. Step 2.
Well, it's sod's law. Like, I bought a Mac and I was like, this is a good computer. It does all the stuff like music production and video production. That's pretty cool.
That you need, yeah.
But then I was like, cool, I want to get Vocaloid. What do you mean I need a particular piece of software to get it to run on a Mac? Whereas on the Windows, it could just been installed straight away.
Yeah.
Like, I ranted about it on a previous podcast. I was like, I had to get a Apple Drive and then Cubase when I already had Logic Pro. So I was like, I need these 2 items just to do Vocaloid. Wow. Whereas if I had a Windows setup, we'd have just bought the fucking software online and that would have been it. Done. And yes, Luís, Cubase does sound like a Pokemon.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
I didn't have it open, so I was like, wait, what do you mean it sounds like a Pokemon? I'm so confused.
Oh, Luís.
Well,
it's Cubone's cousin.
Yeah. He's like the military.
Yeah.
Holds several bases. It's like a different skinned version.
He doesn't have because his mom is still alive because of the whole Cubo and like where's the skull of his mother kind of thing, which is still really creepy. He's like, man, what's up with you? You're like super depressing. Like, why can't you just lighten up a bit, man?
Instead of a skull, he has like a military bandana.
Yeah, exactly. He's got the camo.
Yeah.
I wonder what he looks like without the skull.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people are sort of speculating. It's like, is he just like got this? Is it just his head, but not?
Maybe it's an exoskeleton. You know.
Maybe.
Well, so that's the thing that doesn't make sense about the Pokemon Pokedex entries in general. So it's like, oh, he wears the skull of his mother. That's what the Pokedex entry says. But if you look at Marowak, like it's her head is like fused to her body. It's not just like, oh, her skull is on, the thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
it makes no sense.
Yeah, it's like the entire head and skull have changed design.
Exactly. Like, it just makes no sense. Like, well, someone, I remember, because a lot of people on YouTube or on the internet is like, here are the top 10 creepiest Pokedex entries. And surprise, surprise, Cubone always makes the list. Someone pointed out that, and this is interesting, and I didn't think about this before, in the original Pokemon games, Professor Oak sends out kids to collect all this information. They're filling in the Pokedex. So really, all these entries are written by kids.
10-year-olds.
10-year-olds. Like, I didn't even think about that until now. It's like, oh, yeah, you know what? Maybe this is just a bunch of kids filling out a bunch of bullshit. And the scientific community is like, yes, this is all very, very interesting. I'm glad we are sending out these 10-year-olds who have no knowledge of the world out into dangerous territories to fight, gods, if you will.
Yeah,
Pokemon.
especially now.
Professor Oak, where did you graduate from? Oh, well, Banana University.
Yeah.
Where is that? My kitchen. Oh.
They need a Pokemon game where not only do they have to go out in the world and catch Pokemon, but they actually have to deal with real-world possibilities like GTA.
Well,
go out and they get mugged.
I know fans have tried making like brand new Pokemon games in the spirit of the original, but like making them more mature. Like like you're still a kid, but you're not. You're not facing fantastical creatures and things like that. The only problem is Nintendo gets wind of this and is like,
oh yeah,
you can't do that, and kills the projects before they even really get off the ground. And at the same time, I relate that, but I think if Pokemon Go has shown anything, not only are there a lot of kids who are like, oh, this seems like a great way to get to know Pokemon, there are a lot of adults who are like, yeah, I played Pokemon, but then stopped because it's like there are too many. There's, it's totally unrealistic. It's the same game over and over again. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just found out something very interesting. As I mentioned, Banana University, I thought maybe I should Google that. Because, maybe it's offensive. Maybe there is a place called Banana University for whatever the fuck reason. Turns out there is a Facebook page called Banana University. So I went to check it. And it's a page dedicated to pictures of college students eating bananas.
Oh.
That's it.
Okay.
It's like people take pictures of other people in college or university eating bananas. And that's fucking it. That's all.
You really can't find anything on the internet these days.
Right? Jesus.
Anyway,
I just wanted to share that.
Or a bad thing? You can find anything on the internet.
It's a sort of thing. Oh, right, that statement. Thought it was
don't test that theory.
Yeah, you can probably find the stupidest and grossest thing you can think of. So don't search for it.
If you do, it's your own damn fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, you brought this on yourself.
I've had my share of believing people on the internet and then looking for the sites they told me to look for. I regret that. I really do.
No. Why? Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah,
What
why,
is the
Tyler?
worst one?
Why'd you do that? Same goes for you, TJ.
What is
you're
the worst
listening to
one you've
this.
come across, Luís?
Let's see.
And this is a good thumbs up for the audience, by the way. Anything we mention from now on, you probably shouldn't search for if anyone recommends
do not.
it.
You have been warned.
I think Lemon Party was like the one that caught me off guard the most. As in, like, someone saying, "Oh, go to this website." And I was like, "Sure, whatever." So that one was pretty bad. But the time someone tricked me into watching Two Girls One Cup was also really fucking stupid. So, but I didn't really search for it. Like, I think I told this story before, but a classmate of mine was fumbling around his computer and was like, "Hey, check this out." And then I looked down and it was Two Girls One Cup, and it was just awful.
Oh, that's a dick move. Like, if they get you to click on a link and watch it.
I never told you the story?
No, I think I do remember you telling me, and I think I might have had the same reaction. But, like, getting somebody to click on a link to see it on their own computer takes a lot of deceiving skill that could be a little bit admired. But actually going up to them with the laptop open, being like, "Here, check this out," that is a dick move.
Yeah, man. It's like going to someone in the street and just hitting them with a pie.
No, I feel like this is much worse. Much worse.
Yeah. I mean, the pie was made of vomit.
Ew.
I think the worst one that I've come across was Pain Olympics. Don't
what is
search
that?
for it. Don't search for it.
Well, I'm not going to search for it, but do you think
It's bad.
Is it people hurting themselves doing sports?
Yes. And
but
I don't even want
gory.
to describe it. It's that bad.
I'm trying to figure out.
Bad.
It's people hurting themselves, but not in a funny way, but more like gory.
Very gory. Very.
Shit.
Well, I wouldn't say. I don't even want to say. So let's just move on.
Let's just say it's like Mortal Kombat, only real.
On genitals.
Oh, Christ.
I'm not even kidding.
All right, so should we do some questions?
Now you can see why I didn't want to bring it up.
Yeah, I don't want to imagine that, but my brain's already working into,
Yeah, the brain does that.
Just
hammer.
Fuck you, brain.
Should we do some questions, please?
Yeah.
Yes.
By all means.
Cool. Questions. Right, so this one was sent by Sunny8B, and the question is, if you could have a job in the Pokemon world, which job of the following would you pick? Trainer, gym leader, coordinator, nurse, breeder, or professor?
Now, I'm getting a weird deja vu going on here, because I think you've asked this before, but was it on the podcast we unfortunately lost?
I wasn't on that one, but it might have been. I never asked this question myself.
I don't think I've addressed this before, so for the audience to understand, there was a different recording of podcast 130, and it had Gaff and Jim on it, and I don't think I mentioned it, but the entire audio was corrupt. And that was one of the questions that we used, so I guess we can answer it. Damn, I'm trying to remember what I answered with. I think I just said, I didn't want to say it at first, but then someone made me think about it, and it's actually pretty easy, which is being a nurse. For like, if you were stuck in that world, because you have to do very little to fix everything. Like, you just have to go, "Oh yeah, just pass me that, and I'm going to put them on this table, and done." You know, there's not much else you see them do.
It's true. I don't know. I'm tempted to be boring and just do like trainer. I don't know, because it's like, I feel like that's just, you get to see the world, you get to catch a whole bunch of Pokemon, like that's like the reason why I play the games, and to think if I were in that universe I would do the same thing. But you definitely bring up a good point about nurse. That's very very laid back. Plus you'd have like clones of you everywhere, because apparently, like, if you're, I don't know, Nurse Tyler, just
Damn.
That you replace Nurse Joy. That'd be really funny.
Or nightmarish.
Well,
Yeah.
let's turn up as RTX, or let me turn up at RTX like Nurse Joy or something. Really concerned Luís.
And it's not even because it's Tyler, but it must be kind of weird, like having a fuckload of copies of yourself in the same room.
Or it depends. It will either be terrible and annoying, or the best thing ever if you all got on. Like you'd be able to read each other's minds and just be like, yeah, you know what, I'm hungry. Yeah, let's go get something to eat. Yeah. Just all walking out together.
I think I'll probably pick trainer as well, but I don't think it's that boring. I mean, there's a whole aspect of you being able to just go around, meet people and places and explore and adventure and enslave Pokemons and bend their will to do your bidding and like fucking shit up and eventually ruling the world with Fist of Registeel, and like destroy everything if you want.
I don't think when I said it was boring, I didn't mean like, oh, you'd get bored of it quick. I think it was more like, we only play in the Pokemon games. We only play as trainers. And there's this world, this ecosystem, this economy that's sort of built up on Pokemon. And, we don't even think about like, I don't know, breeder could be interesting because apparently eggs just show up and these guys have no idea how that happens. And it's really weird. So it's like, you know what? I'll be the first Pokemon breeder to see an egg getting laid or something. And I'd probably be scarred for life. But that's that, maybe, I don't know. That would be like my backup. I do trainer, but like if we're being interesting, I think breeder could be interesting.
Or
and
maybe
potentially life scarring.
And maybe it's like breeder / marathonist, because according to Pokemon Go, all you need to do is take a walk. So the person will grab like a fuckload of eggs and just walk around until they hatch.
That's actually my one biggest pet peeve with the game, and one of the reasons why I played for a little bit and then stopped playing was because like I have all these eggs, I want to hatch them, but you don't let me have the app running in the damn background, so my battery life drains like instantly. It was so fucking annoying.
It's like, hey, you can go outside into the world and give it half an hour, and then my smartphone is fucked. Yeah, and I think I said this on the last podcast. I remember, because typical banter with the rest of the group, I was like,
right,
I will probably be the worst nurse in Pokemon. Like, I would somehow leave them on that little, I don't even know what you call it, like the little egg tray looking thing?
Yeah, well, it's like where you put your, just where you put the Pokeballs, and it's like, scan to heal, magic.
I said to them, like, look, I know you probably don't need a degree to be one of these things, but you can guarantee that I would fuck it up somehow. You give me an injured Pikachu, and I'm like, okay, don't worry, I'll just leave this on here for a few seconds. Whoops. I left it on for a minute more than should have.
On the other hand, you got a pretty sweet rock.
Yeah. Here's your Pokeball back. Tell me how that works out.
There was a really dark webcomic, but it made me laugh still, where this trainer goes up to Nurse Joy and hands over the Pokeballs. And then the Chansey that's assisting her grabs them, takes them to the back room, throws them in an incinerator, and then there's like shelves of Pokeballs, like Gengars and, like Dratinis and a whole bunch of other things, and just pulls out random selections. Like, here you go. Here's your random selection. Is like, and the reason why they did it like that is they sort of point out, it's like, I find it very hard to believe that we live in a society in Pokemon where Pokemon can get healed instantaneously, and there aren't any repercussions about it. So it's just like, it's just an interesting thought. Good question. I don't normally think about that.
In all honesty, I would want to be the guy that's trying to like figure out how to take that egg tray with him. Like, if you had that counter that heals everything, then you would be unstoppable.
Well, yeah. Also, because there's going to be some guy who walks in and is like, "Hey, I've got like the 3 legendary birds and Mewtwo." I was like, "Can you just heal them up, please?" Sure. Replace them all with Dittos.
Good luck in your next battle. You're gonna need it. Yeah, that is a good question. I like that one.
All right. So, this next one is by Dr. Sparks, and the question is, what's the most recent experience that made you feel like a driveling fool?
Huh.
Good question.
That is a good question.
I had to think about this for a second.
Yeah, same.
It's not every day that you remember the times that you are an idiot.
I do have a very recent one.
Okay.
So the other day I was gonna make a tuna sandwich, and I opened up the tuna can and I asked my father if he wanted any. So he was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll take a piece of the tuna itself, but without the mayo or anything, just the fish." I was like, "Well, I might as well just take the can for him and let him grab what he wants, and then I'll just go back and do the sandwich." And so I was. He told me to call him in the kitchen when I was opening the can. I was like, "Oh, come on! I'll spare him the effort and just take it to the living room where he was." So I'm walking. I'm like, "So here it is, Dad." When I go to hand it over to him, I trip and I fall down and I just throw tuna everywhere.
Oh no!
So, in my attempt to make his life easier, I messed up the house.
Well done.
That's rough.
Yeah, that was pretty fucking stupid.
I've got a kind of cop-out one, which I don't know if it really counts because it's not necessarily entirely my fault. Which relates to the last answer that I gave, saying, the question we had was on a podcast that we lost because the audio completely was corrupted. I felt like a fool then because as I was the person that recorded it, you're kind of responsible for how the audio comes out because it's all down to you. And that's the first time in 34 podcasts now where the audio is just straight up corrupted, like on me. We've had it before where the audio's had issues and we've not released the podcast before. But this was the first time it happened on me, and I was like, oh my God, this happened when Gaff was here, when Jim was here. But these are people that aren't on the podcast often. It's very rare for them to fit in time to do this. I felt like such a dick because I was like, I can't use this. Like, all of the audio is fucked, and I don't know why. And it's still a problem that I'm trying to figure out now, but that was when it hit me. Like, when I tried editing it, seconds after recording, I was like, we've got an issue, guys. We can't use that. And it was a really good podcast, and I felt so bad. But I guess that's my answer.
Yeah, I feel you. I've got probably I have one recently, but I'm just drawing a blank. But this one is one that is one of my go-tos of James, you're an absolute idiot. This was when I was younger, and we were meeting. I was meeting with the rest of a school group. We were on a field trip, and for whatever reason, there was this one section of the museum where there was 2 glass doors, and then there was a glass partition between the 2 doors. And my friends were on the other side of it, and for some reason, my brain thought, "Oh, this partition. There's no partition between the 2. I can just slip through the doors." I don't even have to go through one of them. I could just slip through this hole in the wall. So I basically go right into this glass wall. My friends are on the other side looking right at me because they see me coming. I hit my face, just wham, right against the glass. I fall, almost fall over because I'm just not paying attention. And I look up and my friends are just dying of laughter on the other side because they just seen me make a complete ass of myself.
I mean, I would expect them to. Please say there was at least a satisfying bonk sound. like a good old-fashioned dum.
Or like a thump.
Oh, yeah. I'm also Yep.
Wait.
I'm kind of concerned that Jim's just lost connection. There he is.
There we go. Sorry, yeah. Like, my internet just crapped out or something. I don't know what happened, but...
You only missed one thing. I asked, did you at least, like, when you said your friends were laughing, I was like, well, can you blame them? And then I asked, did it at least make a satisfying bonk sound as you walked into the
Or
class?
a thump.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it did. I don't remember that bit. I was too much in, like, searing pain and, like, oh, my face! And all of my emotions.
Don't look at me!
Don't look at me!
I'm hurting on the outside and the inside, too.
Oh, God.
Yeah, no, but, I mean, that's, like, it makes a great, if I ever need to laugh at the sake of myself, it's a great story. So, even if I was an idiot.
Hey,
it's
up
always
to the window cleaner that day.
It's a tough call because, like, when you get yourself into a silly accident, you need to deal with, like, if there are people around, you need to deal with sort of I don't want to say humiliation because that's too much of a strong word, but you guys get the meaning, right? Like the shame of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you hurt yourself really, really bad, people won't laugh at you. But then you need to deal with the physical pain, which might be far worse, or the scars and stuff. So yeah, you either have to deal with the shame or the pain.
I probably have to deal with both.
You can step away from most accidents, with a confident stride and play it off. Yeah. But if you've actually broken your ankle,
oh dear.
Yeah, that would suck.
I've gotten better about passing off stuff like that. I remember I was moving a couple years ago, and I was carrying a really heavy box, and I tripped on the curb. I was carrying it from a moving van, and I somehow caught myself. Like I sort of started tripping, started falling. The box I was carrying was thankfully like plastic, so there was a certain amount of weight. So I sort of caught myself and then laid myself on top of the box to use it as like a sort of like a cushion, if you will. And I think it was my mom who was with me, helping me move, and was like, "James, are you okay?" It's like the only thing hurt is my pride. Other than that, I'm fine.
That is the way to do it, though. Like, you can get out of so many embarrassing situations by kind of calling more attention to it. In a way, it's weird. Psychology.
Yeah, well, it's like you realize, I done fucked up. Better own it, kind of thing.
Exactly. You gotta own it.
Yeah, I mean, I think dealing with the hurt pride is far better than having to deal with actual physical pain.
I could have seriously hurt myself there. I mean, maybe not like a broken bone, but I could have sprained something. I could have broken my foot,
or like is it rash? When you
like
scratch yourself on the ground. Yeah, scrape. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, or scrape your something. Yeah. No, I mean knees or ankles or elbows and stuff, or face.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, Luís.
What?
Don't make it worse.
Me. No, it seriously happened to me like half my face. I shit you not.
That's rough.
There was this, speaking of being fucking stupid, there was this one time that my mother, my grandfather, and I went to take a walk at one of the public parks. And there's this big slope, this big downhill slope. And I was with my scooter at the time, the kid's toy, not the motorcycle scooter. And so I went to the top of the slope and I was like, I can probably pull it off. It's something that I've always done. But I went a bit higher than usual. And so I started going down. For whatever reason, I don't know if there was a stone that got caught in the tire or what the fuck happened. What I did know is that I fell from the scooter and landed on my face and finished going down the slope. Is it slope the word? I'm fucking up here.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I finished going downhill on my face, like half my face. Yeah, and I just stopped because I hit my head on a concrete bench, and then I was knocked out.
Oh my god!
It was fucking awful, man. And I mean, my face recovered like normally, without scars, without surgery or anything. Like it recovered completely fine, like totally perfect. But I was really scared for a while, like that I'll have my face fucked up. But it did scrape like half my face off.
I'm in the same boat. I was like, Two-Face.
Yeah, I was in like middle school, so I had to deal with that shit for a while. Like, Two-Face or General Scar from the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh yeah, no, I know.
So yeah, that kind of sucked. But at least I lived to tell the tale, and my face is not fucked up.
Yay!
So, yay!
Wow. You're in an audio podcast. Our listeners might not know.
Yeah. Listen, we have video evidence of how we look like.
That's true.
So fuck you, Tyler.
Yeah, people know what we look like. Unfortunately, well, at least
why?
Unfortunately, that was actually aimed at myself because, like, I think you put up a few pictures as me as the Riddler, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this kind of does look stupid."
That was a fucking cool suit, man.
It was a cool suit, but like as a first impression, like if someone's like, "Oh, I wonder what this TDBTyler looks like," oh my god.
No, wait, Tyler, don't you remember? Like, I think it was a New Year video we released back in the first year of the podcast.
Oh
yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we've also got like other stuff. You know? Yeah. Like people might not have started watching.
So people do know you don't live in Gotham, so don't worry.
Yay. I'm not Enigma.
Yeah. Right. So there's one question here that I don't feel comfortable answering, but I think we should address it, sort of. Okay. Especially now that the results of it are about to come out, I guess. Like by next week. Or by the time this gets released, we'll probably have an answer. But here's the thing. As people might or might not know, Brazil is going through a political crisis. And so the elected president has been I forgot the word now. When they're temporarily dismissed.
Yeah, I mean she's currently going through impeachment trials, I think is the correct word.
Yeah, so like they sent her to the benches, to wait until the trial's over. And so the vice president has taken over for now.
Right.
And so there's this movement called Fora Temer. Temer is the name of the vice president. And Fora Temer means like out with Temer, pretty much. Which are people who support the elected president and who don't support the vice or who don't support the impeachment trial. And so yeah, Sonny asked Fora Temer, do you agree or disagree? I don't feel comfortable talking about it because, politics, or at least not going into too much details and stuff. Suffice to say that I am not satisfied with the political situation at all, like with any of the sides. I know it sounds like a cop-out answer, but both sides are all a bunch of cunts. So
I don't know.
There you go. There's your answer.
I feel for you, Luís, because it's like I would not want to be like even like here because like I consider myself very lucky to live in Canada in the sense that like we are in a relative period of political stability, but that anything can happen kind of thing. But it's hard to. I could not imagine what you guys are going through right now, and that's rough. Like so I think not being happy with the entire situation in general is probably the best answer you could give in this circumstance.
Oh hell yeah! I think as well that question was mainly directed for only you.
Exactly. I am not.
Yeah.
Aware.
The question was like SpartanSloth, Fora Temer, do you agree or disagree?
Okay.
But there is one last question for all of you.
Okay.
So yeah, let's do another Sunny question. And it is beards. How do you like them? It's just that Sunny sent a bunch of questions. And by the way, thank you so much, Sunny. So, we have a lot of them.
Beards, how do you like them? Do you mean growing on our own faces or just beards in general? How do we like the look
That's all
of
he
them?
wrote. Beards, how do you like them?
Well, considering like I have one, and I will probably, I basically decided that I'm gonna trim it, but I'm never gonna like shave it off. I like beards, so there you go. That's my answer to the question.
How do you like them? I like them well done. Little scraggly. No. I often, because I can't grow a decent one myself, because for me it's like having thin blonde hair. You don't get the best results.
Right. Yeah.
And unfortunately for me, like a very typical neck beard growing first before anything else shows up. So I don't like them as much on me personally. So I do go for the clean shave. But if we're talking about how they look on other people, I don't know. Wolverine. If everyone could have the beard that Wolverine has in the films,
yeah,
then
very
we'll be a happy place.
Very strong mutton chops is what we're going for.
if we had to go for like a certain type of beard.
Well, I think
I don't
go classic with mine. I don't do anything fancy. Like mine's just the chin strap with, like under the chin and a little bit of a mustache going. That's sort of what I go for. But it's funny that you mentioned like, oh, gross neck beard coming in. When I was growing up, it took forever for me to get my beard in a state where I'm like, you know what, I can actually grow this now. So like for as long as I can remember, I always had sideburns. Like my sideburns would grow.
Oh yeah,
really quickly. But then after that, like the rest of my facial hair, it all went to like puberty sucks. Let's be honest. It's like it all went neck beard. So I had sideburns and neck beard. So I'm like, well, this is disgusting. And then finally, as I got older, my face started the rest of my beard started filling out a little bit more, except it's pretty much gone now, but it is still a little bit thinner than the rest of my beard. I had a bald patch right under my chin for some reason. Like my body was just like, fuck you, James, you don't get a beard yet. I'm like, what the hell? So it was like I had mostly a beard going, but then I had this bald patch, so I had to shave it all off. Because it was just like I would look so ridiculous. Thankfully, bald patch is gone now. So I've had a beard for so long though that people sort of see pictures of me without a beard and they're like, you look weird. Like
what the fuck is this guy?
Because they can't imagine me without one. So yeah.
Yeah, the thing about first of all, you're right. Puberty sucks. I remember when I was growing mine, I also had a bald spot right under my chin. Actually, I think I still have a tiny bit of it, but I was like, yeah, you know what, fuck it, and I just let it grow, and so it's pretty much covered the whole thing. But there's still a little bit of it. Yeah, I mean, a part of it grew, and I think some other part, maybe the rest of the beard managed to cover. I don't know, but I like the way I have mine. It's like I guess you can call it the classic style. It's just the full beard,
Right. Yeah.
But but trimmed.
Yeah.
And there is one thing that I don't know. I think it kind of counts as a bald spot, but it's like my mustache and the rest of my beard, they don't really connect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's fairly common in a bunch of people. Like I have a little bit of that. I started growing a little bit more in, but it's basically you're missing what are called the connectors, essentially. That sort of gap between the chin part of your beard and then like your mustache. I know a ton of people who have it, so you're not alone.
Yeah, but I mean, at least modesty aside, it looks good.
Yeah, there you go.
It doesn't look like weird or just.
No, I think the other thing too is that if you trim your mustache and you sort of have that at a certain length and the rest of your beard at a certain length, it looks even better than if you had it connected. So.
Yeah.
I don't think I would go for like the hipster beard or the really long stuff, or like making.
That's if I get lazy. That's where I'm like, I'll just shave the neck. And
also known as vacation weeks.
Yeah.
But I do have a plan because I think that having a beard kind of helps making you look like older and maybe a bit more professional, at least for men. And so I don't really want to shave off while I'm working, but I'm gonna take a few weeks off during December and January, for the holidays and stuff. So I'm thinking like the first thing I'm gonna do right after I take my last patient before my vacations, I'm just gonna shave my beard to try to remember how my face looks like without it, and like let it grow afterwards. I kind of want to fool around with it, a little bit and try some new things.
Last time I think I shaved mine off, at least that I can remember in recent memory, is I shaved off. I ended up picking Halloween costumes that involve characters that don't have beards. So it's like I gotta stop doing that. So I'm not going to do it this year. But so I shave it off for the costume. I'm like, this is the worst decision I have ever made, because I just look at myself and I'm like, I look terrible, or at least I think I look terrible. So. That's never again. Never, ever again.
If you're feeling really fucking lazy, you can just shave off your beard, show up at people's house, and be like, well, where's your costume? I am wearing a costume. I am beardless BlackHatJim.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Scare all your friends.
Oh, yeah, they'd be freaking out. Like, where's your beard?
Where is it? Where
what
did you put it last?
It's like in like Star Trek, or in that one South Park episode where the alternate universe has beards or goatees, because they're the evil universe, and apparently evil means you have to grow a beard. It'd be like me but reverse. So like evil Jim would be no beard. So yeah,
clean shaven.
Clean shaven would be evil BlackHatJim.
That's an interesting thought. How would the evil us look like?
Easy. Like a very long, the mustaches that you can kind of twiddle around your finger?
Oh, yeah.
Those kind. Yeah,
part of me would want to... See, the thing is, like, the one part of my beard that's the most annoying to deal with is my mustache. And I sometimes wonder, like, okay, if I actually made an effort to grow out a mustache, could I eventually get a twiddly, like, curl it mustache? And I'm like, I think I'd get sick of it in like an hour, and then I'd want to shave it off. Like, it sounds cool in theory, but maybe not.
You would.
So Tyler, you're saying like a Dick Dastardly mustache, right?
I got the feeling that if you could grow one, you would be annoyed the second it disappears, because then you would notice all the times that when you're thinking, you actually like gesture with it.
I genuinely stroke my beard. When I'm
I genuinely do that as well, and then when I shave, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah.
Like, I got the feeling that I could grow out that kind of mustache, but the problem is, like, I do it on a regular basis because, as I said, I've got light hair, so a mustache will grow, and I don't have to worry about it because you can't see it anyway. And it's like, the one thing that puts me off the moment where I know I have to shave it off is the corners of it will grow a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah, that's the worst.
You get, like, whiskers, and it's like...
Oh, they're awful.
Yeah, like, at that point, I shave, but, like, I wonder if I left it, like, another month or two after that, will it grow out to, like, these super long... dastardly beards? Nah, it probably wouldn't. It would probably just be a pathetic mustache, but I can imagine it turning out to be like that. I wouldn't have the patience to go through that, because it would look so stupid before it got to that stage.
Right.
It would probably look stupid at that stage as well.
So, shall we wrap this one up?
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I suppose your question for the audience would be, would you grow a mustache like that if you could?
No, well, if I may suggest, I mean, I know we usually ask the guests, but...
This will ask a question for the audience. That was mine.
Yeah, mine is, how would the evil you look like?
And I think mine would be stealing Sparks's. And when was the last time you felt like a total idiot, or a time when you felt like it? Actually, no, I tweak it. Sorry, I'll change mine. Has there been a time that you've hurt yourself really badly, but you walked it off and owned it because you were being really stupid? That's how I would phrase it.
Yes. That's a good question.
Also known as every day.
I cry every time.
All right, so everyone, thank you so much for listening. Black Hat, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you.
Don't forget to listen to the outro to find out how to interact with us. And until next week, grow a mustache. Bye.
Unless you can. Bye.
No, that goes even for the ladies.
Everyone should grow
Everyone. Like dogs and
nothing
cats
more attractive than a mustache.
People. Jesus.
Thanks for listening to the Shifty Key Podcast. The intro and outro music is provided to us by our editor, TDBTyler. To get more involved with the Shifty Key Podcast, you can answer the questions for the audience asked by our guests, or even ask the cast a question of your very own, either here in the YouTube comments or in our Rooster Teeth group. To keep updated with this channel's shenanigans, you can follow us on Twitter, join and watch our group on Rooster Teeth, or simply subscribe. All links will be in the description. Until next week, goodbye.
That is... I would just imagine, like, one day you wake up and everyone has a mustache.
It's probably
like, even animals.
I feel like that's been, like, there's probably a cartoon or something where they did that, where, like, the day the mustaches took over.
Oh, that would just be weird.
It would be. It'd be really funny, though.
No, because it would be like... I've got 2 little nieces. I can imagine them turning up and they're like 2 years old and they've got like full-blown mustaches. That would be weird.
They pretty them up. They've got like little bows and stuff, and the mustaches. Like, my mustache is so pretty.
I would be concerned. And then everyone who had a mustache loses it.
Oh, okay.
See, that would be a terrible day.
Okay. Now I'm not so okay with this alternate universe.
Karma. What goes around comes around.
Yeah.
Grow a beard, people have to lose their beards.
No.
Balance.
Over my dead body.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Luís is just waiting to wrap it up.